The CRL Rights Commission's National Customary Initiation Indaba is underway. The Indaba aims to address the high fatality rates and other challenges at initiation schools. Zolani Mkiva, Congress of Traditional Leaders of South Africa's Secretary General, is joining us now for more. Mhlekazi, good afternoon. Welcome to today, and thank you very much for your time. Some people will say perhaps it is really about time that you got together to focus on this issue, because what is meant to be a beautiful, honorable rite of passage for young men is ending, sadly, for some of them, in death.
Now, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you again, and as well as the viewership. We welcome the convening of this Indaba on the traditional initiation. It's a very good thing, and it's better late than never. So, as well as the fact that all the key stakeholders have been invited to take part in this, led by traditional leaders from all our provinces. We are here in Johannesburg to discuss one of the sacred rites of passage from boyhood to manhood. And of course, one of the critical challenges is the fact that we have deaths and fatalities that are happening year on year since the new dawn. And this is a big problem for us, and we have gathered to come together so that we can mitigate and come up with solutions to that problem, to close ranks and to ensure that where there are gaps, we completely obliterate them. Because the situation is exacerbated by the fact that you've got bogus initiation school. There are those people who want to use this long-standing tradition to make a quick buck. So we are agreeing here where we are that we should allow traditional leadership to lead from the front, and we should all put hands on the deck together with the government. The government must avail requisite resources and empower the institution of traditional leadership. Police must come in, Department of Health must come in, COGTA must come in. Let's work in unison, collectively, so that we can completely eliminate the death of the children when they are going into the mountain. It should not occur. Even one is one too many. So that is the view we take as Contralesa, and the discussions have been very robust and very progressive. And the issue of death and the fatalities that occur is not the only issue that is occupying our attention here. There is also an issue of access to land, particularly for our people who are in urban spaces or peri-urban spaces. There is no land available for them to practice their tradition. We are engaging on that. We are saying to the CRL Commission, let's work together and find pieces of land around and declare those pieces of land as spiritual spaces. Apportion some for initiation, apportion some for traditional healers. So we deal with those matters because they are interconnected. In the Western Cape, in particular, our people are found wanting. Every time the initiation season come in, the issue of access to land becomes a problem because municipalities are...
Mhlekazi, in the interest of time, let me come in there. You've got a number of possible solutions you say you're looking at. One of the biggest headaches is the violation of this sacred rite of passage by these bogus initiation schools, as you've said. What are your thoughts as Contralesa on how to prevent them in the first place? Can we just briefly tell us, how do you think they can be prevented?
It's very simple. We want the meaningful participation of the parents. Parents must be involved in the process from inception to conclusion. Number two is that the initiation season themselves must be formalized and institutionalized. There must be permits which are issued for certified surgeons as well as the principals of the initiation schools. Nothing should happen without that particular process being approved by the institution of traditional leadership. We must therefore empower those traditional councils as because the buck stops with them, but we must give them the powers and give them the necessary resources to be able to effect all of these changes and all of these suggested solutions, so that we know who's doing what where, and that particular person is approved by the institution of traditional leadership or by the accredited office that is within the ambit of the institution of traditional leadership. That is what we are saying. And we are saying that some of the families are very poor. Some children actually go to the extent of lacking food when they are there in the mountain. We're saying that the process of formalization and institutionalization is going to help us to cost every initiation season, and therefore to budget. So the CRL Commission and all other relevant departments, we must not come up with a piecemeal approach. Let's have a proper plan, year by year. We must not be reactionary. Let us be proactive. Let's plan for the seasons so that we can anticipate everything that we want to see happening.
Yeah, while I still have you online, Mhlekazi, what's the view of Contralesa about those who violate the initiation practice? They violate it by infringing on the rights of others, like they forced young men, they force boys, they abduct them without their parents' knowledge.
Well, we think that the law enforcement agencies must play a key role there, and they must act swiftly. We want those people to rot in jail because they are actually human traffickers. They are murderers. They are people who actually destroy people's life for good. If any young person gets amputated because the surgical procedure was done wrongly by somebody who's not certified, then that's criminal. It's pure criminality. And we want the law to come down very heavy on them, and we must make an example. The unfortunate thing is that since 2012, you can count how many arrests have happened. There are no convictions, very few if they exist, but a number of children have been subjected to these fatalities by these bogus, and therefore my answer to that is that the law enforcement agents must not be sympathetic to these people. They must deal with them decisively, and they must act swiftly, as I said.
Yeah, Mhlekazi, I'm sure you and I will talk again soon, because I understand this Indaba is ending tomorrow, and one would want to unpack what kind of solutions and interventions you've all agreed to implement going forward. We will talk to you again in the near future. Zolani Mkiva, he's the Secretary General of Contralesa. Thank you very much for your time, just talking to us about the CRL Right Commission's convened National Customary Initiation Indaba, which is underway in Boksburg